Resources. Minister, you will know because the Toronto Star, myself and others have raised the issue of the fiasco over the use of Agent Orange over the past couple of weeks. Your response up to date has been a fairly simple one, that you will put in place, as you call it, a herbicide spraying project team in order to investigate what happened. My question to you is simply this. Why would you put the MNR in charge of collecting all of the information related to the use of Agent Orange when it was this very ministry that only used the Agent Orange, but quite frankly kept their mouth shut when they found out it was harmful to the public?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm very pleased to answer another question on this issue in the House. And again, I want to reiterate our great concern over this issue, and since learning about it, as I stated earlier, I've been committed to obtaining all the facts and sharing the information. Certainly when the individual from Tembec first approached us, he gave us some very thoughtful recommendations, and I appreciate his coming forward. We have two priorities in our government. First of all, is to find out and identify those who were exposed back in the 50s, the 60s and 70s, possibly the 80s, and also to work with health experts to understand fully the impact that this herb spray may have on human health. I think certainly we were the initial ministry that was contacted, and I certainly am working with my ministry officials and everyone else within the other ministries to collect that information. I think it is important for us to share and be accountable and transparent about the information we receive with the public of Ontario. Their health is on the line. We understand that.
Supplementary.
Minister, I don't doubt for a second that you're concerned. So am I, so is every Ontarian. That is not the issue. The issue is, why would we put the very ministry in charge of the investigation when they are the ones, quite frankly, that withheld the information from the public in the late 70s and early 1980s? So I ask you again, why was this the government's response? Why did you put the very ministry that was the culprit in charge of the investigation?
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have created an independent fact-finding panel, and they'll be able to help us collect that information. I've written to the Federal Minister of Health and asked for their involvement in this. As well, my deputy, I think yesterday, sent out a letter to all the territories and provinces asking for information to share it. I think there's only one thing you can do at this point, is to collect information, share it publicly, and not to be worried about who did what, but to collect that information. This is an issue that has spanned decades. We need to make sure that we work with Health Canada and other provinces to share that information. And certainly the federal government has a responsibility. They regulated the use of herbicides across this country, and this particular herbicide was registered by Pesticides Directorate of Agriculture Canada. The federal department was responsible for registering those pesticides. We're going to...
Thank you. New question, member for Stormont Dundas South Glengarry.
Thank you.